Hey everybody, good evening and welcome to Against the Public for Tuesday, April 2nd. I'm Dana Lane. We're the only show to analyze early betting patterns by the public, and we've done that once again with 3 more free NBA plays for Tuesday. Thank you to everyone who jumped on our single games yesterday, our long-term passes, the 3-packs. Thank you so much for putting your trust behind me. You can guarantee I'm rolling the sleeves up and working as hard as I can to make sure we put a profit into your bankroll. I have my college basketball, NBA, and Major League Baseball 3-pack locked and loaded as we speak right now on Pickdawgz.com. Every play, every 3-pack comes with our Pick Dawgz win guarantee that states you must profit or receive an immediate site credit for the purchase price. Of course, if you don't want to deal with the individual games or the 3-packs on a daily basis, I encourage everybody to get involved with an all-access pass, and you can do so for very little money. A couple of cups of coffee gets you a 30-day pass for less than $11 a day. A 90-day pass is less than $10 a day, and an all-access pass for the next year, just $3.56 a day. So grab your credit card. We'll pay it off a little at a time. Sit back, relax, and we're going to go to work for you starting today. Ensure that you will never miss another best bet winner from the NBA, college basketball, Major League Baseball, NHL. And if you get a package long enough, go right back into college football and the NFL, which we absolutely slam every single year. So I'm very excited about that. Let's jump on another 3-pack in the association. Good night last night, a 2-1 night. I lost the first game, but came back strong in the other 2. So we'll take 2-1s on every single night. I love the 3-0, but we'll take the 2-1s as well. Okay, let's start it off. 7:30 Eastern Time. 567, 568. OKC Thunder -5, 227.5 versus the Philadelphia 76ers. At one point this year, the Thunder were an absolute automatic wager. They were 38-22 ATS. But since that point, they're just 4-10 against the number. And with the dramatic way the Thunder came back to beat the Knicks the other night after being down by 10 into the fourth quarter, with that win, the Thunder clinched a playoff spot, making a game against the Sixers kind of a letdown. But I expect, because of that massive win and in the manner in which they did it, and because it clinches a playoff spot, I expect this to be one of those kind of a letdown spots against an Eastern Conference team with very little on the line. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot on the line when it comes to the postseason and it comes to the playoffs, but it's very difficult to get right back up again for a Sixers team that, many think that they should beat. But hold on. Will Joel Embiid play in this game? Well, he is still listed as doubtful with that knee injury, but I talked to a lot of people in the cover of the team, and they say that there is a possibility that he will play in this game. So I'm going to cover myself one way or the other. I like him with or without Embiid, so we're going to take Philadelphia plus the 5. Game number 2 features the New York Knicks versus the Miami Heat, and we're kind of playing off of that Knicks game against OKC with these 2 free plays. 7:30 Eastern Time, game number 569, 560. Miami -2.5, 208 is your total. New York has lost 2 straight games, but probably deserved a better fate against OKC. They were in a tough spot against the Spurs after it being the last game of their road trip. Probably took that game for granted too, kind of looking ahead to that game against OKC. The Knicks have covered 7 of their last 9 games. There was a push in there depending on the number you got, so we'll just take the consensus number. But still, 7 of 9 they've covered. New York isn't known for scoring a ton. We know that this year. Their pace of play is the worst, or not the worst, but I guess the lowest in the NBA, especially when they're playing at Madison Square Garden. But they have averaged 127 points per game in their last 4 games. That has to be taken into account. The pace of play is not nearly as slow as it had been all season, but they were running up in the transition game for New York definitely has increased over the last handful of games. Maybe that's Thibodeau getting them ready for the postseason. Miami has failed to cover 9 of the 14 of their last 14 games. That Wizard game was a push. And again, depends on the number you got in that game, but we'll take the consensus 9 of 14. New York has covered 3 of their last 4 meetings against Miami, including their last meeting at the end of January, which resulted in a New York 15-point victory. So we're going to take New York plus 2.5 in this one. And in game number 3, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 571-572, the Houston Rockets versus the Minnesota T-Wolves. T-Wolves minus 8, 216.5 is your total. I give the T-Wolves a pass after losing a game to the Chicago Bulls. Of course, they were coming off a massive victory against the Denver Nuggets, but they should be plenty focused and plenty angry against the team they should absolutely annihilate. I thought Minnesota would be in that 6.5 range when this number came out, but it appears that the odds makers like them even more than I do. Houston has been terrific against a number this season, but has failed to cover on their last 2 games against Utah and against Dallas. I'm less inclined to wager on them after watching those games. I think this spot favors Minnesota hands down. I really can't even find a reason to go against the Timberwolves in this one. Both mathematically and psychologically, both of those factors sit with the Timberwolves. Minnesota thrashed the Rockets in both meetings this season. They beat them by 27 in January, and then in that game was in Houston. Then came back with a 21-point victory a month later in Minnesota. Minnesota's magic number is down to 1 to clinch at least the 6th spot in the West. But obviously they have higher expectations. I think they absolutely destroy Houston. We're going to take Minnesota minus the 8. So that does it for your 3 plays for Tuesday. Please go to pickdawgz.com. Get involved with one of my many available packages. Take that money you won from the 3-pack last night. Jump on a top play for a 3-pack in the NBA. And of course, all of those packages come with a Pick Dawgz win guarantee. You must profit or receive the immediate site credit for the purchase price. We smashed the books yesterday. We're going to do it again today. Here's the recap of our free plays. Philadelphia plus 5, New York plus 2.5, and Minnesota minus the 8. So that does it for today's show. Thank you to everybody for watching Against the Public. I'm Dana Lane. All the best to you and your wagers on Tuesday.